Welcome back to Dream Drop Distance.
As you know, when you complete a world in this game, it blows up momentarily. Out of the total worlds that are available in this game, I think it's actually less than other games. Can you give me a quote on that exactly?
Let's see, there's Traverse Town, the first set is 3, the next set is 2, and then there's the last one. I guess they were counting on you playing through it twice to account for the overall length, so maybe they think it's 14 worlds worth. I don't buy that. It's just 7, to be honest. Personally, what I would have liked is if there were worlds that only Sora or only Riku go to, and then you could put in more worlds and not have to worry about a drop mechanic.
That would have been great, actually. I think I would have valued that a lot more.
I'm not saying I dislike the worlds they chose for Dream Drop Distance. I think there's actually a nice selection in here, especially the one coming up next, which we'll get to when we get to. But I just think having, like, Sora exclusive worlds and Riku exclusive worlds, instead of just having, like, you know, slightly different bosses or, you know, character-specific areas in worlds would have been much better overall. Oh, and we just passed it back there, but the Keyblade you get for beating Traverse Town is called Skull Noise. Obviously, based on the Noise enemy from The World Ends With You, kind of like the Heartless of that game, if you will. It's pretty bitching, both in terms of, you know, aesthetics and kill potential.
Now, of course, you have to beat every world twice, so now we're gonna do the rest of Traverse Town as Riku.
Yeah, Riku's side tends to be the shorter one of each character's stories.
Yeah, you know, as a whole, I might as well take this moment to say this. As a whole, I enjoy Riku's side of the stories a lot more. And personally, I find Riku to be a more enjoyable main character. I was really surprised. But, unlike Sora, he cuts through the bullshit, he's direct, he speaks from his perspective as a reformed villain, he's older and wiser and things like that. He's just a more likable main character all around.
I agree, yeah.
He's definitely stepped up since his original cliché days from Kingdom Hearts 1, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he has a lot of returning to do, but he's not angsty about it.
That's true, that's another great thing. They could have easily went the cliché route here, but they actually avoided that to a degree, and I actually find that really refreshing when it could have been really bad.
He's aloof, he's sarcastic, he's just pretty fun to play as, to be honest.
Yeah, and for some reason I feel he controls and fights a bit more reliably than Sora. Like, Sora feels slower, in a sense. Riku, meanwhile, is very quick, very in-your-face kind of thing. I pretty much had the same command deck for them both. I focused exclusively on area effect abilities. I juggled enemies and I hit them with, like, Thunder and the balloon spells and things like that. Only switching out the single attack, long range and dashing moves for the bosses. Of course, I didn't know when these bosses were going to show up, so like once or twice I fought a boss with like the wide area command deck, and it didn't really work out that well.
If you're a beginner, I would say using the same kind of deck for both characters is the better option, because when you switch, you're just going to be basically playing the same character with a different skin, so you won't be too out of place, as it were.
Yeah, it's not like they have really gratuitous differences between the two. Kind of like, again, like in Birth by Sleep. So, just use the same deck all around. It's a lot easier management that way, I find.
I will be switching it up later in the playthrough, but for the first world or 3, expect to see Spark Dive a lot.
Well, Spark Dive is pretty useful. I think I still use that every so often.
Seriously, thanks.
No problem. Just quit doing your hair like that.
Riku.
Thanks, Riku.
Sure.
Hey, that's it?
Yes.
You chat up a girl and then just say, sure, and walk off?
I'm bad at this. Sorry.
See, I like that. It's got a little bit of a sense of humor, and these characters, they have distinct voices, and they feel more alive. I actually really like that, compared to the plot. At the very least, I could say the dialogue is good.
Yeah, I really liked how they wrote the characters in Dream Drop Distance, especially compared to Birth by Sleep, which wasn't bad, but definitely felt like they were going through the motions and reading off scripts at times.
Meanwhile, the main character, Sora, is flatter than most of them. You see what happens when you give your characters a personality, guys?
Just much more palatable.
Exactly, and more likable. That's why I like Riku. Again, you know, I like him a way lot more than Sora in this game.
Personally, I think Didada should have been Riku's game. Like I said, RE-coded and coded in general should have been Mickey's.
A lot of things could be fixed by just streamlining or slimming down how the game flows.
By the by, Balloon, never take it out of your deck, and when you get the upgrades like Balloon Ra and Balloon Gar, put them in immediately. The most broken magic in the game.
I didn't use the normal balloon that much, but when I got Balloon Ra, it's still in my deck, because it's very useful. It heat-seeks enemies, and it actually does a decent amount of damage. I do recommend that, too.
Balloon Gar starts off with a massive balloon, and then bursts and splits into mini homing balloons. It's great.
Don't you have to grind that crappy Flick Rush game to get that?
Yes, you do. That's one of the ways you can get it anyway.
Well, I'm never going to do that, so I will probably never see that command. Meanwhile, Balloon Ra is still pretty effective. I hate the fucking teddy bears, by the way, the big panda guys with the capes. I hate those fuckers so much. Oh my god. I can't believe it.
It's the rush attack, right?
It's the rush attack that juggles you, it's the super armor, it's the fact they take forever to kill. It's like everything combined about the previous fat, heartless enemies or whatever, just made even more shitty. I hate these guys so much.
You say you hate them more than the other ones, and they have all the bad traits combined. I was watching one of our mods play Days on the HFC livestream the other day. The fucking large bodies in that game. Have you played Days?
No, I've avoided it because it was a biohazard.
Well, there you go, folks. You will never see Days on this channel.
It will literally make us sick. It is radiation.
I did play through the first 6 Kingdom Hearts games for the first KH-a-thon, and then I think I did my own version of Didada at the end.
Pretty much the only way you're gonna see us touch that, basically. We're not gonna do, like, a commentary for it. So what do the Dream Eaters do while you're reality shifting? Do they just hang around and say, well, why'd he jump on the floor again?
Well, they've got to grab a coffee every now and then.
Do Dream Eaters like coffee?
Actually, you'd think it would make them wake up.
That's true. Maybe maybe coffee is like a poison as a result.
You know, it's like chocolate for dogs.
I think the idea of Komori Bat sipping on a little mocha is actually pretty adorable. I want him with a little mocha! He's got a tiny cup! It's so cute!
What were you saying about multiple hits?
A lot of the Dream Eaters in this game, when they get their hit off, they like to juggle you and do multiple hits. And again, you know, I guess that kind of makes it fair, but at the same time, it's not really easy to break out of, so it's kind of bothersome at times.
Again, it's because the game expects you to be bouncing hither and thither with flow motions. It's like, oh, we've given you abilities that make you, you know, move more effectively, move more swiftly. So to balance that out, we're going to make Dream Eaters that attack really fast and never relent.
To be fair, a lot of the combat in Birth by Sleep was pretty easy, especially the bosses, so I guess maybe I could see how they try to balance it out, you know, for the rest of the game, for this one. But, I don't know, I just find I prefer Birth by Sleep's mechanisms a lot more anyway.
A lot of you will probably hate me for saying this, but BBS is basically what Dream Drop Distance should have been.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Dream Drop Distance has a lot of bloat on top of it. Look at it this way. Birth by Sleep is like a woman. You want to have sex with a woman. But as Dream Drop Distance, she wears sweaters all the goddamn time. You can't get to the woman while she's wearing the sweaters. So only when you take off the sweaters can you lay the woman. You get where I'm coming from?
What kind of fucking analogy is that? Dream Drop Distance is like a sweater. You buy it in a store.
I don't fucking know.
Dream Drop Distance now available at HMV. And Sears.
I'm gonna take it to the prom!
Fucking Helldragon.
I was literally thinking of that last night. Now, how could I compare the two?
At least you didn't make a food analogy. God knows we have enough of those on the internet.
What, a food analogy? Really? Oh no, I'm not much of a foodie. I guess, you know, if it tastes like food and doesn't kill me, I'll eat it. Well, okay, well, except coleslaw and potato salad, because those are really disgusting. I don't know how people can eat it, but whatever, I guess.
Well, if you wanted to use the sequelitis argument, Dream Drop Distance is a bag of chips, and Birth by Sleep is a fine dessert.
You know, I have a Coke here, and it would be really great if I had some pretzels right now.
Okay.
Just wanted to add that to y'all. I like pretzels. You may send them to me at the following address. No.
I really like Blizzard Edge, just pointing it out there.
I don't know, I don't really like the edge commands, so I don't really use them. I tend to go more for the dives and the really wide area moves.
Oh, so you like the dives now, okay.
No, I like the dives when they don't require me to do stupid objectives just to pass them. Get only one drive point! Who the fuck is handing these out? Why only one drive point? What does that do?
I didn't design the game, though.
Well, maybe you should have.
Over there.
What? Hey! We should stick together. Perfect. You can't expect me to...
This is my plushie toy.
No way.
Bleh. No.
How did you get here?
Who are you?
You could have moved out the way, Riku.
This or change.
Nice reflexes there.
You cannot control what you are not aware of. This wakeless sleep will be
It
your
starts,
prison,
by the way.
to wander forever.
What do you mean?
Riku, don't you listen to that punk.
He's part of a really shitty endgame plot.
She told me what's up. Hoodie here set this whole thing up, yo.
Beat is basically me. I'm just throwing that out there.
World, and you was the cost of travel.
I don't have a reply for that.
I need a sick chain, though.
Excuse for a mission. Bet you ain't even a reaper.
Again, play the world enter you. And it's...
Alright.
Turn around, please.
I don't know. You've lost me.
It's like that episode of Justice League Unlimited where Lex Luthor and the Flash switch bodies. And Lex Luthor as Flash goes into the bathroom and he looks into a mirror and says, "Finally, I'll find out who the Flash is." Takes off his mask and he goes, "I have no idea who this is."
I remember that.
Beat. Watch her.
I got this, yo.
I like B. He could be such a dumbass stereotype, and to an extent he is, but he's very enjoyable at the same time.
He's kind of an inventive version of that stereotype, actually. I actually really like him, too. So they just took away Hako Monkey's legs. It's a completely new boss. Oh man, this right here, with the camera and the flow motion. This is flow motion at its absolute worst. It can get really chaotic if you're not locking on all the time, and even then the camera still likes to flip out. And it pretty much relies a lot on flow motion to get up to where the boss is. It's just, it doesn't work at all.
To be fair, you can use the rails around the arena to warp to Hako Monkey, but again, even if you're locked on, the camera will spaz out as you do so.
So I guess, you know, you're too cool for this walking thing, Hako Monkey, I don't know.
Legs are so Last World.
Well, he lost his legs in a Metabot battle, obviously.
As you can see here, once you do enough damage, he'll start sending out hands and whatnot, just destroy them and then the real thing will come back.
What's annoying about, like, the flow motion dive attacks is that it only goes so far, and even if you're still in the middle of the air, it'll just stop. It won't actually take you all the way to the ground, so you can miss with those.
Once again, you are not invincible during flow motion, so don't get cocky.
Just taking a nap there, hold on. Oh, that's pretty neat.
I like to end in style.
Good old Keyvat for the win. Are you gonna go to heaven too? I don't think you deserve it.
Oh, the same thing happened, just slightly different. How quaint. Let's make an entire game based around that decision.
I like it! I'm promoting you!
What are we seeing?
I don't know, it's just as lifeless as the real thing.
What's up, man? She's right here in front of me, and I can't reach her.
You know, knowing now that Rhyme is Beat's sister makes this actually kind of have more effect for me.
If your hearts are connected, you'll reach her.
That's not how it works. I would like for you to read the manual again, please.
You could at least have like a phone connection, you know, give her a ring.
I had Skype when I was offline, it was very helpful.